So today we're going to do graphing hyperbolas, and we're going to start out with an equation of y minus 3 squared over 16 minus x plus 2 squared over 25 equals 1. And the only difference that we have between the ellipse and the hyperbola equation is that minus sign is in the middle instead of the plus. So they're going to ask us for the center, the vertices, and the foci, and the graph, and the slopes of the asymptotes. So, the center, when we have this equation, is always going to be easy. We got negative 2, 3. And because y is first, this is going to be an up-down hyperbola. And in order to figure out where the vertex is, we're going to go up and down 4. Because the square root of 16 was equal to 4. So my two vertices are going to be at the negative 2 stays still. 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So I'll do a little 3 plus or minus 4 as to how we get the y values here. We also know for the little box that we're going to make, the left-right direction is going to be 5. So I'm probably going to graph before I worry about the focus. Alright, so my point, my center, which is not going to be a point on this, is going to be negative 2, 3. And in that direction I said I went up 4 to 7 and down 4 to negative 1, which were our two vertices right here. And I'm going to go left and right 5, which puts a little spot over here, a little spot over here, and I'm going to make a little box. And through this box, I'm going to make a diagonal that should wind up right through the center. And those are my asymptotes. And so I come in, hit my vertex, and go out the other. And this was up and down. So come in, touch the vertex, go on the, and that's a little sketch of my graph for this hyperbola. So we need two things. We need the focus and we need the slope of the asymptotes. Well, the slope of the asymptotes are going to be easy because it's how far we went up and how far we went over in order to make this box. So going back to the last page, we went up and down 4, left and right 5. So plus or minus 4 over 5 are the slopes of my two asymptotes. The positive one, positive 4/5 is this one. The negative 4/5 is this one, because positive slope goes from left to right up, negative slope goes from left to right down. So the one thing we have left is the foci, which we have an equation of c squared equals a squared plus b squared in this one. And so we have 16 plus 25 equals c squared. And that's 41. The square root of 41 is 6.4. And this is how much y is changing because it is a xy. So my center was at negative 2, 3. So my foci, the negative 2 stays the same. 3 plus 6.4 is 9.4. 3 minus 3.4 is negative 3.4. So 9.4 is up here, negative 3.4 is down here, and those are my two foci. Alright, I tried to graph this, and so I'm on the side here I have a center of 4,3 and a vertex of 4,7 and 4,1, and they want the equation of the hyperbola. So taking a look, because this is up and down, y should come first. And since my center is at 3, 4, I'm going to do y minus 3 and x minus 4. So now, how far we went up to get from this to the box would give us a, which is a total of 4, because I counted, and 4 squared is equal to 16. How far it is to the side of the box is going to be b, which is 2, if I would have been able to draw this a little bit more accurately, and 2 squared is equal to 4. And since they only asked for an equation, I am finished with that particular problem. Alright, the last problem is for us to graph xy equals negative 8. Not negative 8, because that's not a good one. So let's try this again. Let's try xy equals negative 16. That's the one I wanted. So we can't really do the square root of negative 16 in order to find our two vertices for an xy hyperbola. So the square root of 16 is equal to 4, and I'm going to be in the first and the third quadrants because, I'm sorry, not the first and the third, that's for positive. I'm going to be in the second and the fourth because a positive times a negative equals a negative. So what points can we have that multiply up? Well, our vertices are going to be at negative 4, 4, and 4, negative 4. So that point right there, and that point right there. So to help us form our graphs, we need to figure out if there's any other places that multiply up to be 18. Well, negative 2 and 8 and negative 2, and negative 8 and 2, and finally 2 and negative 8. So we kind of get a curve in the second quadrant, we get a curve, and so anytime we have xy equals a negative, we are in those two quadrants. On the other hand, if this was xy equals a positive number, we get a curve in the first and the third, because a positive times a positive equals a positive, and a negative times a negative equals a positive.